Hello, hello, hello. Okay, have you ever had a situation where you have something that you really want to do, you really have a good idea, and you know it's a thing that you're supposed to do, but you keep on you keep putting it off and off and off and thinking about it, and you got to have it perfect, and so you just keep on, you're in that space where you're just like, you keep on thinking about it and thinking about it instead of doing and doing and doing. Well, this is my first stream on Cowherd Village, my first YouTube stream. And I've been in that space for quite some time. So I've been in the space of, oh, I want to do this. I really want to do it, but maybe I should do it like this. Maybe I should do it like that. What am I going to talk about? And this and that. So I got to a point where I was like, you know what? October 1st, you're going to do it. You're going to put out your first live stream. And you know what? Whatever you got, throw it out there. But something amazing happened yesterday. I was watching this, I was on YouTube watching some videos and I saw this video. I like to watch motivational videos sometimes. And so I watched this video. It was called Just Start Walking. It's by so many different ways, had a nice business. Things were just going really his way. And but one day he saw his friend um, and he just looked totally different, totally bummed, out of it, just like you could see it just had fallen down. So he asked him, "Hey, what's going on?" He said, "Look, I my wife just came up to me. Just came to me and said I'm going to get divorced." And he's like, "I'm going to have to sell my business. I'm going to be working at Home Depot. Um, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like totally lost." And so uh, he says, he just didn't know what to do. He didn't know where to start. Everything was, just crumbling. There you could say he was just done. And so he was mentioning, so he looked at that guy and he said, "You know what I would do? I'm not the most intelligent person, but I know what I would do if I were you." And he says, "Well, what is that?" He said, "I would just start walking." Huh? Just start walking? What do you mean? How is that going to save my business or help me pay this, my lawyers and this and that? He said, "Well, check it out. This is a really good idea or good thought, good mindset, you could say." He said, "You've just been dropped in the forest and but you wake up and you don't remember anything in the past. You're in this forest and you don't know what's going on. You don't know why you're not there. You don't know how you got there. You just boom. And you're looking around. And right now, you're looking around, you're confused, you don't know what's going on, why you're there, and you're just thinking about like what the problem is and you know, like what should I do?" And he says, "However, when you're in this situation, you just need to start walking." He said, "Because if you just start walking, then you're going to get to, it doesn't matter which way. It doesn't matter if it's this way, that way, just start walking." He said, "Because if you just start walking, eventually you're going to find some down, downhill. And if you follow that downhill, then you're going to find a stream. And if you find a stream, when you find that stream and you follow it, then you're going to come to a river. And when you come to that river, you follow it. And eventually you're going to come to a road. And when you come to that road, you follow that road, and eventually you're going to get to a city. So just start walking." And I was like, wow, this is perfect what I needed to hear. I'm going to start my street. I just need to start walking. And I started thinking about it. I was like, this is a really interesting thought. And, so many people, we get into that situation where we're just lost, confused, depression hits, and, we need to get the ball, that momentum going. There's one thing, though, that I was uh, thinking about this situation and, trying to uh, see how it was, how to make it practical in my life. Like, what is it? What does that look like to me? And I thought, you know what, though? Um, when I get dropped off in the forest or I wake up in the forest and I don't know what's going on, I've got one thing that isn't being taken account for in this story. And it's, see, in my life, I've got a friend, a friend that's always with me. and an amazing friend that's always there waiting for me to turn to him and ask for help or to start walking, and that's the Lord, and we each have this experience. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know if everybody has this experience. I think so, though. Interesting. My point, though, is my thought is that it doesn't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, this, that, or that. We all have this understanding that God is with us, that He is there for us, that He's our friend, that He wants the best for us. And um, I'll talk a little bit about this concept. In a sense of uh, you know. Sometimes we like to argue, my God is real and yours is fake, but that's a really quite a ridiculous idea. It's like the sun. We got the sun in South America, they call the sun solar, right? In India, it's Surya. In America, here we say sun. And if I was to say my sun's real and your Surya or your uh, solar is fake, that's quite ridiculous, right? So God is one, and but He presents Himself in so many different ways. For instance, I think this is a really good way to explain this. Um, there's a CEO of a company, and a very successful guy. And when he's at work, he's got people that are his employees. You know, and so the employees come up to him and they call him Mr. Roberts. Hey, Mr. Roberts, how you doing today? And Mr. Roberts, what's the plan for today? How are we going to move forward? And then there's people in the business that like are maybe the owner. You got the CEO and the owner come up to Mr. Roberts, but they don't call him Mr. Robert. He says, hey Bob, how's it going today? How are we looking? How's the profits? How's this? And you probably can understand that there's a different approach or attitude that the employee who's calling the CEO, Mr. Roberts, compared to the owner who's calling him Bob. And then uh, Bob, Mr. Robert, his wife comes to to the work, and when she sees him, she says, "Hey, honey, how's it going?" Maybe they're going out for lunch or something, and she picks him up and stuff like that. And so now Mr. Roberts or Bob has become honey uh, to the wife, and then the same CEO after work comes home and come running to him comes his kids. His kids say, "Papa, Papa, we're so happy to see you." So this one person has four different ways people are approaching him. As a matter of fact, you could say that probably his old school, his old school buddies probably have a nickname for Mr. Roberts. Who knows what it is? I don't know. Can you think of a funny nickname or something for Mr. Roberts? Like the Gunner. Maybe uh, he's a sharp. I don't know. It's kind of stupid, right? But the idea is that even his friends have a nickname for him, and and by the way, whenever you hear the CEO hears these names, he knows that the people are talking to him. Is it Mr. Roberts? And he knows, and he puts on a certain persona, right, of Mr. Roberts. So we can see there's this one person has so many different names and so many different ways and attitudes people come from. And that's God also. However, he's unlimited. He has unlimited. So he goes by Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, Christ, Krishna, Govinda, Ram, unlimited names. But uh, we're really being quite silly if we're arguing that my Krishna is real and your Christ is fake. That he's not real. That's ridiculous. Or my Christ is real and your Allah is false. This is actually not such a good way to progress in your love of God. it actually is quite destructive to it. You can't see that there's others out there that are very sincere in their relationship. So, uh, so my point being is that we all who are lovers, or how should I say, followers of the Lord, have this understanding that the Lord is with us at all times. So when we get dropped into a situation that we're unfamiliar with, or don't know what to do, we're lost, we can turn to Him, you know. And so I was thinking that's such a positive thing in my life, that you know, starting the stream, I want to be authentic, you know, and that's important to me, to be authentic, because you know, I want to be able to present myself in a way that I attract people that are interested in who I really am. I'm not trying to cheat people and present myself in a way, and then, you know, because that attracts people that are going to attract to that falseness, you know. And then it's like if you're uh, selling something at a business, and somebody says, "I'm ready to buy," and then you give them something else, they're going to be upset, you know. So why not just be myself, and be who I am, and just present that and see what happens, you know. So I'm walking, moving forward, uh, throwing it out there. Cowherd Village is moving forward. We're going to do this. We're into so many different things like divine wisdom, uh, and metaphysical things like tarot and astrology, leadership. Really found in my life to be leadership to be so important, and how we lead our own life and help others. Communication. How do we use our words and our ears to be able to connect with people in a real amazing way that inspires, and especially attract those people that are our people, and repel those people that aren't. When we repel people that aren't our people, it's not that we think of them as lower or enemies or this. That's ridiculous. You know, every person's a child of God, but we can understand and respect them, that, you know, hey, I don't want to cheat you. I don't want to take up your time, and I want to make sure that you find the people that you're really meant to be with. And so I also respect myself in that same way, that I want to spend the time with the people that are really the people that are like-minded, or my tribe, I guess you could say, you know. It's really important that we all find that community. That's one thing that Cowherd Village is about, is finding a community of people that really want to see each other succeed. It's more important to see others succeed than even ourselves. You know, that's actually, for me, I find more joy in being able to be instrumental in encouraging somebody, empowering them, helping them to be successful, more than even my success, you know. So just start walking, and we put the cows, you know, just start walking the and things will figure themselves out here. So we're going to figure out some things here, what Cowherd Village is, how we do it, not get into our head, uh, let the doubter overpower us. You know, we each have a doubter inside of us that likes to chip away at us, and gets us to move away from the thing that's really important to us. And so we need to be able to push that voice off to the side and really move forward in the things that we really, really want to give others, how we really want to serve others. So just start walking. We have one thing else I wanted to mention. We have the, you know, where I was speaking about having the Lord. You know, I don't get dropped off anywhere without my friend, the Lord, with me. I like to say Krishna. Krishna means all attractive, or Jagannath, the God of the universe. the most powerful. And so when you have the Lord with you, you get to have that person that's always with you that you can talk to. Um, hey, I don't know if you guys have this situation, but have you ever had this situation where you're running a conversation in your head? Maybe it's with your friends, maybe it's with a sibling, maybe it's with your mom or dad or a loved one, and you're having a conversation. I wonder what they would say. I wonder what they would, they would say this and I would do this. And so we can have those conversations with the Lord, and there's something very powerful about it. He can really inspire us to do amazing things. So we're going to talk to uh, talk to the Lord. What are we going to do in this Cowherd Village? How are we going to move forward? How are we going to really impact others' lives? How are we going to make this really amazing? And how are we going to, and then talking to the community itself. Oh, other people that are, really appreciative in this way. What do you guys think? How should we move forward? Being authentic, not getting outside of ourselves. Maybe you can, if any of this has resonated with you or not resonated with you, make a comment. What do you think? Have you ever had this experience? You ever been dropped in the forest and wake up and you don't know what's going on? I mean, has life ever put you in that situation? Confused? Some people call this the fog of war. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. How do you get your bearings? How do you sober up to start taking action? This is gonna be fun. Really looking forward to it. I'm uh, really looking forward to seeing who comes through the community, uh, get that advice or get that communication going on. By the way, one of the things that's really important in Calvert Village is deep relationships. This world right now is so tough, struggling in so many ways, right? And one of the things that I find that is upliftment from it is deep relationships. Quite a few other things I was mentioning before are also things that I find that uplift me. This time of struggle, suffering. But one of the main things is deep relationships and helping others. Okay. Oh, well, you know what? We got to do that one thing, that YouTube thing that everybody does, right? Please like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. But seriously, if you wouldn't like, share, comment. Yeah, comment. I want to know, how do you guys respond to life when it punches you in the face and you're off balance? How do you get on balance? How do you just start walking? Okay? Uh, tomorrow, I'm not even say. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna get on and talk about something else again. We're gonna talk about something again. We're gonna do this regularly and see what happens. We feel like if we just meet one person that we resonate with and we encourage to uh, to really progress in their life, then we're successful. Okay. Thank you all so very much. See you tomorrow. See you next time.